President. All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Milan Weekly Podcast channel. I'm Fabio, joined, of course, always here on Wednesday night by my partner, Gio. Tonight, on this episode of Milan Coast to Coast, we have a special guest with us. We're going to be talking about the Berlusconi derby, of course, against Monza that happened on the past weekend. We're also going to talk about, of course, the champions. And then we're going to get you ready for the game, the big game against Atalanta this weekend. Before we do anything, we want to send a special shout out to our brother here on the channel, a special happy birthday to our boy, Steve. It is his birthday tonight. Stevie P, special happy birthday to him, and an early happy birthday to our brother, Vin, whose birthday is on Saturday. So happy birthday to our brothers from Monday night. Just to start off with that, Gio, are you ready?
Hold on, Fabio, before we start, shout out to the two legends, but shout out Stevie P. Today he's swimming in that jello for his birthday, baby. Are we ready, Fabio?
All right, here we go. Andiamo, let's go.
Welcome to Milan Weekly Podcast, Coast to Coast, with your hosts, Gio and Fabio.
Benvenuti nella casa!
Giro in area, si gira, sinistro, rete, gol capolavoro di Olivier Giroud.
Mignon with another magical save.
Teo Hernandez, coast to coast, nel numero 19.
Leao carica il mancino. Eccolo qua, Rafa Leao.
Il Milan è campione d'Italia.
Oh, are you ready, baby? Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Milan Weekly Podcast channel. It is Milan!
Coast to coast, baby!
Yeah, damn right, baby. It's Wednesday night, so me and Gio are coming live from Long Island and Southern California, and we are not alone tonight. Before we bring in our special guest, you know what you guys got to do. Let's do it, Gio. Do us a favor, all right? Make some effort here. Support our channel. If you haven't already, subscribe, like the video, and make sure you hit the notification bell so you do not miss any of our upcoming videos. Gio, let's bring in our special guest tonight. We are not alone. We're bringing in one of the GOATs. If you paid attention to IFTV, this is a man that speaks our language, and we need to bring him in because this is a home for him. We don't got to talk about these other teams. We're going to talk about all the Serie A. Anton! Benvenuti a casa here. Antonio from IFTV. How you doing, Anton? Thank you so much for joining us.
Grazie. Thank you for the invite, guys. I love it. I mean, you know that every time we breathe AC Milan DNA and similar atmosphere, I'm always on. I mean, we live for this, okay? We're going to live and die for this. And even when we die, we will never die 100%. We're always going to be lurching on the back of everybody. Never die, okay? It's not fino alla fine like the Juventus. We're never going to see the end. Nobody's ever going to see the end. We're here to stay, okay?
Very nice. Listen, Anton, me and Gio just want to let you know, here you have no restrictions, all right? You could be your true self. You could talk all the Milan, all you want. And you could swear as much as you want. Foul language is not deterred. It's actually encouraged here, okay? So if you have a fuck, a shit, or whatever you feel in your soul that you got to get Anton, let it fly, baby. This is home here. All right, guys.
I don't want to see the cops be on my doorstep.
Well, listen, Milan looked like we needed to call the ambulance, the doctors, everybody to get over here because we were having a horrible start to 2023. But thank God we've seemed to slightly turn the corner, and we got 3 games in a row now that we've looked pretty decent. Let's get into the games now. Let's get into Monza. This is what we were calling the Berlusconi Cup, the Berlusconi Derby. Gio, let's just start. What was your opinion of the game 1-0 victory. Goal by the DHL delivery driver. He delivered. We were all talking shit about him, and he came through with the only goal for the game. So what was just your opinion of what happened on was it Sunday or Saturday? It was Saturday, right?
It was Saturday. First, I want to say shout out to Facebook Frank because he was dissing the DHL delivery driver. He scored a goal. So
Everybody
the
always
psychology
does.
was good. So it was good. Now, Fabio, I think we're doing good, and then I don't know. I just didn't like how we ended the game. You know, like Monza were putting that pressure on us, and I don't like to go out like that. I don't like to go out that we have to soak up all that pressure because sometimes, you know, in set pieces and everything, we always give up goals. But I'm just glad that the team is finally starting to rev up and get the 3 points that we need, Fabio, because, you know, we need Champions League. Because if we don't get Champions League, like I've been saying last 3 weeks, we're going to be the Maldini project is going to stop for a little bit.
Anton, what do you think about the game from Saturday?
I have to be honest with you. I liked the way we played the first half, and I'm a little bit perplexed about Pioli right now trying to experiment. I mean, I know he's got contingency problem related to the, you know, to lack of defensive, proveness of this new guy, Chow, whatever we want to call him. But I'm not 100% sold out on the 3-5-2 or the 3-4-2-1 or 3-4-2-1. But I gotta be honest with you. I think this AC Milan is on the verge of another big positive stretch because the positive news of us going through winning those 3 ugly games. I mean, I can't stand Juric. That guy, I mean, is such a pain in the ass when we face Torino all the time, and they play so dirty, and we never can match the intensity of the dirtiness of those Torino's players. But nevertheless, we lost 2 out of 3 games. So likely we spanked them on the last time that we met them. And again, the game against Monza, I think it was a very, very, very happy ending. I don't know if I can say the word because it can be used in so many different ways. But, it's not the derby with Berlusconi. I think Galliani and Berlusconi, they are showing us that it's not the amount of money that you spend for the players. It's the coach that you have, the organization, and the structure of the society. Berlusconi, Galliani, they've been always winners, and they're proving to us that the first time that they're coming back from Serie B and they established themselves already, it's one of the, not the main staple of the Serie A, but they're not here to get kicked out and relegated to go back to Serie B after 1 season. Those guys, even when they made the subs, I was very impressed. You see people like Sensi coming in, you see just no second choice. They are a very good squad, and I think with the roster that they have, they're going to give us trouble. Luckily, we got lucky on this game that we didn't walk away only with 1 point. But Tatarusano with a save that the ball bounced a couple of times on the post, it could have been a 1-1 very easily. And with a little bit of luck, we are here enjoying the 3 points. And nothing against Berlusconi, Galliani. They're still my idol, those 2 guys. But it's a well-deserved win for us. We need it.
Yeah, definitely. You mentioned a part that probably gave everybody palpitations for a moment. That shot that ricocheted off the post, hits Tatarusano in his ass, and thank God it goes out and not into the net. So I'm pretty happy. I know a few things that I'm not huge on is one, Origi did not do nothing to impress to show why he even deserves to be on the team. Macias, I thought, was an interesting option, but then he ends up scoring the goal. So can't really say too much. I'm very happy with the way they defended these 3 guys, getting Tomori in there. The only thing that we're missing now is to get our goalkeeper, which hopefully there's rumors that maybe he'll be there on the weekend. We'll see. But, for me, guys, I know it's not pretty, but these are the type of games that when you're struggling, you end up tying, you end up losing. So the fact that we're winning, and sometimes it's not even really pretty, but we're churning out a victory, for me, that's all that matters. I think I would agree with what Antonio said. The formation change and everything, I'm still kind of not sold on it. But, you gotta do the best you can with the players that you have. And unfortunately, we got a lot of injuries, but things are starting to turn around. Hopefully, we can get healthy and keep. I have a feeling that we're heading into the right directions. If we can turn out these ugly wins and get to ourselves. Again, if a few of our guys just played a little smarter, we're a little more clinical, these wouldn't be the tight 1-0. Steve kept saying it on Monday. Well, when you win 2-0, 3-0, despite not really knowing the game, you would think, oh, you know, it just would look better for us and for the people who are looking at Milan to see 2-0, 3-0, like we have more of a dominance on the game. I feel like CDK is almost there. I feel bad for the kid. I don't know if you guys saw the video of just how frustrated he was when that shot got blocked, but you could just feel he's right there. As much as I like to get mad because you see, what's his name, Kashfelia, whatever his name is, on Napoli, you know, $10 million comes in right away. He's taking the league by storm. But when we get these players on Milan, we always have to wait 1, 2, 3 years to get them acclimated. You know, is that Pioli? Is that just, you know, the Italian soccer? How come this guy looks like he's dominating so well? But, you know, Napoli's a whole different thing this year. But I think CDK is at least taking the right step. We're identifying young defenders, you know, but we got to identify a young striker soon because we can't keep going with these garbage people who if Liverpool lets him go for free, that should tell you why he's not worth the money we spent. And poor Giroud can't keep playing 90 minutes every game. But Gio, any other last thoughts about this game before we move on?
You know what? It's time to work out with CDK. Shout out to IFTV where Antonio does his podcast. They wrote something on CDK, and I said in their comments, we have to get behind the guy. Like 35 mil for Milan is like 100 mil from a Premier League team. So we need to get behind these guys, and especially him. And it's coming. And I just like how the whole team is picking him up. You know, whether you like the kid or don't like the kid, you think he's gonna flop. Now it's time for us to support him so we can see his greatness, because 35 million at Milan right now, and the way the owners that we have, that's a lot of money. So I'm just, to me, I don't know what's up with Diaz, but I don't want to see Diaz. I think his time has come. It's between our favorite supermarket or CDK to earn their spot.
Listen, guys, listen to me. I think you guys are spot on CDK. This kid here is got it. He's got the game. Okay. The things that I think is slowing him down, it's pure luck or lack thereof. The guy is always on the right place. Just the ball is hitting the post, or is hitting something, or that the defender is just at the last seconds making the save, or the goalkeeper makes some miracle. Whichever the case might be, this guy is gonna play. Mark my words. Today's what? February 22nd, right? This guy is gonna spell a lot of points and a lot of goals for us. I'll tell you why. He's young, he's angry for the game, and I think this is making him more angry. What I think is slowing him down is the fact that you are in an atmosphere like San Siro. In San Siro, La Scala del Calcio, a lot of the players that are coming from small venues, they feel that kind of a pressure. And maybe in Belgium, all of these sporting, casts, sporting outlets, they don't do 24/7 what we do. We just breathe, live, and eat soccer every single minute. So this guy here, I think, is feeling a little bit of pressure. But now I think he's slowly, little by little, finding the niche into the team and into his, location or position that is going to really do well with us. I'm so confident that he's going to do it. Against Tottenham, he made 2 or 3 spectacular defensive play. I don't know if you remember. He came all the way back, and he tracked back, and he took the ball away on the left-hand side. There's 2, 3 little things that they're telling me that this guy here is almost over the slump, and I think he's going to just starting to become big for us. One more thing. I agree 100% with Origi. Origi is not AC Milan caliber. He should never be playing for AC Milan.
I think... I grew up watching the heydays of Shevchenko and Kaká, Gio a little before me. But to me, when you pick up somebody who the other team didn't try to keep, that's a bad sign. They see right away that this guy doesn't have the goods. And if he's not good enough to play at Liverpool, it should automatically mean, all right, you can't cut it there. You can't cut it for us. We need to be buying players. That's all I'm going to say about it. What would you feel about seeing Diaz more often? Do you feel like
I like him. I'm big.
I know he's playing well now, so everybody says you got to stick with the hot hand.
Let me answer this way. I think AC Milan right now, because of contingency problem, this 4-2-3-1, it was okay last year, but now a lot of people they are studying, they're copying our way of playing. So our lack of screen is on the midfield. 2, they're not enough. So I will just slightly tweak the 4-2-3-1 into 4-3-3 because we have the player. The Catalara can fit into one of those spots. It can actually play on the wing.
He doesn't seem to want to play him there.
Yeah, I know. But I'm not sold on the 4-2-3-1 anymore. I think we need the third midfielder over there. Not playing online, don't get me wrong. You can have the 4 defender and then the 2 wide and 1 right on top, like un triangolo. Okay? But I think Pioli is not calling all the shots. I think it's Maldini orchestrating something on the top over there. My personal opinion, Calabria is not healthy. It was never healthy when he came back from the injury. And I think that the fact that Calabria comes out all the time, like 20 minutes before the end of the game, or half an hour, or sometimes 15 minutes, is a sign that Calabria is now 100% where it's supposed to be physically in terms of health. So
he's making me enjoy seeing Salamanca's take his spot, so he can't be healthy. Let me ask you one more question. The rumors that they keep talking about 20 million, would you spend it on Diaz from what you've seen the last 3 years? Do you think he's worth it?
It is. To me, it's worth it. Absolutely.
Even with the fact that we have all these parameters to not spend too much, you would still waste 20 million on Diaz?
It's not a waste. The kid is young. He's got talent. He's got vision, and he fits perfectly into the squad. Plus, even if when you're not using, you need a sub that is just as good at what you're putting on the field. You don't want a second choice sitting on the bench. If you want to win, you need excellent player, even sitting on the bench. And Diaz is one of them. He can start or he can come in from the bench. To me, Diaz has got a lot of qualities. I will never let him go this kid here. 20 million is not a lot of money. 20 million is not a lot of money.
It just seems a lot to us because we don't spend like that. That's why I think CDK's pressure has been so high, because 35 million is a lot of money for Milan and even for Serie A. I mean, we're getting outbid by ridiculous.
You're not gonna regret the money that you spend on CDK. The things that makes me very happy, I gotta be honest with you, that we picked up this Thiaw, whatever is his name. His kid here, I think, is on the verge of breaking into the Serie A like one of the top defenders. If he plays at this level the next 3 or 4 games, especially against the big teams. I want to see him doing the job that he's doing right now against two like a Juventus or Lazio or Inter or, one of those 2 or 3 big games. I think this guy's on the verge of becoming one of our defenders that we didn't have, like, I don't know, Kalulu or Calabria. This is the kid that I'm looking, I keep my eyes on. And I think that we need a strong defense. With Magnan on the back, with the leadership that we have, I think this kid is going to come big for us.
I think so. All right, so let's get – everybody knows me and Gio midweek, despite even if Milan's not playing, the most exciting tournament that's going on is going on right now. So we have to talk about it. Let's get into it. All right, there are a couple of Italian teams played, so we got to talk about it. Let's bring it in now. All right, so let's talk about the hottest team in the world. If you talk to any Napoli fan right now, 2-0, they go to Frankfurt, they win. Gio, let's start with you on this one. Was there really any doubt that Napoli wasn't going to handle their business here? Turn your mic on.
You know what, Napoli, man. I'm not gonna apologize, but I thought they would go away, and they haven't. They keep on steamrolling every team that they meet. So, man, shout out to them. They did the good scouting, and these guys, I guess they took out the old guard like Koulibaly, Insigne. I know Antonio loves Insigne. No, he doesn't.
Oh, yeah, I'm dying for him.
But all these other guys, that failed basically when they went against Juve. Now these new guys, they breathing fresh air and everything. And Osimhen is finally healthy. So let's be honest. So they have a 1-2 punch, and they did what they have to do. And with Colomani getting a red card, that's it. Game, says match. And I know Antonio, he does a pod with Ludovico, and he's a good Napoli fan. He tells you the history and everything like that. One of the good Napoli fans out there, Ludovico.
All right. So, Anton, did you get to watch the Napoli game at all?
Yes, I did. I mean, hey, listen, it's very impressive the way Napoli's been playing. Actually, I was at Villa Abate. It's one of my favorite bakery. I go every morning over there to get my coffee.
Villa Abate. I know that's a good stuff right there.
Yeah, so man is a Juventus fan. I mean, the owner. But I go over there every morning just to get the pulse a little bit of the other tifosi that I meet inside of the bar or just outside. Because we're always talking about soccer. There is no other topics. You know, we're going to be talking about it. So it's either that or we're talking about ladies. Anyway,
Hey.
so about let's talk about Napoli. I think the way they've been playing right now, Napoli, they are risking to lose the final of the Champions League. I don't think they have the caliber and the power to be competing and winning the Champions League. But I will not be surprised if they make it to the final and they lose the final. I mean, to me, to be honest with you, I would love Napoli to win. I mean, except for us. I mean, let's get put AC Milan first. But if we get out, I would rather to see Napoli win. As long as Juventus and Inter and then into the equation for me, it's okay. I will take that. But I am sold out on the squad that they have, and the Napoli is doing very well because there is no leadership and there is no more there is no more franchise player over there. Insigne was nothing but a problem for them. This Koulibaly, all of this rumor, $100 million, then 30 million, then 70 million, 80 million. All of a sudden, Koulibaly is gone and nobody knows who he is anymore. Nobody actually mentions his name anymore. So what I'm trying to say is, it's not how much you spend for the player, it's what you bringing in and whether you marry into the project of the coach. I mean, you know how much I love Spalletti. I can't stand the guy, but for some reasons he got this group to work, and they have an excellent player in every position, and they're subs. They're not just subs. They have a spectacular bench too.
Yeah, well, they don't go looking for 24-year-old goalkeepers who are not healthy to play. That's why.
I know.
But all right, and just one thing, the second goal, unbelievable, perfect little back flick right into who was it? Was it? Oh my God, what's his name? The right back,
Di Lorenzo.
Di Lorenzo. What a nice little play. I mean, they even had a chance to have a third one to start the game that got saved. A penalty. So I mean, they looked good, Napoli. I would agree with what you said, Anton. I would, as much as I know some people feel a way like I'm not rooting for no other Italian team. If it's not Milan, I don't give a shit. But for me and for the league, I think if Napoli could go far, pull a Juventus and lose in the final, that's still good for Serie A to begin with. We need more teams going further. Inter doesn't need to go no further. They can lose the next round and we can all be happy. But Napoli, Napoli is fine. But let's go on to Inter. Speaking of them, they played today. The other two games we'll get to in a second. But Inter played today, and you know what? There was a couple of chances, and if they're not kissing Nana, the Rihanna song goalkeeper, this guy made some miraculous saves. I think 2 or 3, one after another to save a goal. And then, of course, Lukaku, who looks so slow, but he finds a way to get the goal. Maybe Porto was a little unlucky, but they leave San Siro with a 1-0 lead to go back to Portugal. Anton, did you see any of this game today?
I saw some of the highlights because I was working until very late. But I believe that Conceição is not an easy dude to deal with. And, he played for Inter, he played in Italy, and he's the one that I will not really sleep comfortably when for the game when Inter is going to go to Porto. So I have to be honest with you. This Lukaku is not impressive to me. I mean, it's like a bully. He just uses physical strength to just move the defenders away. And many times he worked, but lately it's not working anymore because a lot of people, they figure him out. So I'm not sure if they're going to be able to repeat when they go back to Porto. But going back to the goalkeeper that I have, this Onana, I'm telling you, he has already displaced Andanovic. I saw him just on the last. On the last league game. I mean, I think he's done. I think Andanovic, I think he might be retiring or just go play in a much smaller venue. I don't think Handanovic has got a place on Inter anymore. So
no, not after what I've seen from the goalkeeper today. I mean, just he kept them alive. He kept them alive, honestly. Porto was really attacking them at that part. Gio, did you see this game at all? Did you see anything of Inter today?
Yeah, I want to ask Antonio a question. Can Handanovic play in Bay 8 or no?
Oh my God! I don't know. We're gonna have to try him out first. I mean, let's see if he makes it. If he makes it on Bay 8. Bay 8 is not an easy place to play, guys. Hey, going back to, I wanted to say something about Napoli. What you were talking about before. The first goal that Osimhen scored, it was 75-80% was all Lozano. If Lozano, I think he calculated that pass to the like a laser. It was a laser that if you just put it slightly inside it anymore, the place the goal is never going to reach. The ball is never going to reach.
It was a perfect through pass right through to him. Unbelievable.
So Lozano is the one that deserves the prize for the goal.
All right, Gio. So, any thoughts on Inter before we move on to the other games?
I mean, Conceição, I mean, he should have took off Octavio after the yellow card because he kept on getting into the referee's face. He kept on yelling at him. That anybody that knows Calcio and everything knows that second yellow card was coming. And when it came, it was game over. Lukaku was hungry. Even Morata said that he's 100 kilos, 103 kilos.
He looks bigger and slower.
Yeah,
my God.
So Morata calling you out. So I don't know. Direct Evil calling you out. But you know what? It was just a sloppy game. And if Porto would have killed off those chances with Tarami, the Iranian striker, it would have been a different game. But you know what? Inter did what they had to do, and I don't want them to pass or anything like that, but hey, man, it looks good for Serie A, I guess. Just for
that, yeah, that's what I said, guys. I don't know if you heard, but all three Italian teams in the Champions League walked away with victories. Let's talk about the greatest team in the world from the greatest league in the world. That's right, guys. Manchester City is the team I thought for sure at least would get one win for the English teams. Nope. Leipzig made sure they didn't get nothing. They tied 1-1. Of course, who scored the goal? Damn, I can never pronounce this guy's name. Mahrez scores, and then Leipzig ends up getting one in the second half to tie it. Gio, did you get to see any of the highlights or watch this game?
Yeah, I saw the extended highlights. Man City in the first 45 minutes, they weren't letting Leipzig breathe. And it's just crazy. But this has been City the whole year. They're up 1-0. If they can't score the second goal, then that game's gonna end up in a draw. Look at their last game in the weekend and the Premier League. They had same thing. In the 70 or 80 minute, they score on them and it's 1-1. So you know what? And I'm a call out Pep Guardiola. You know what? To me, a lot of people say that he's better than Carleto. I don't think so. I mean, his whole career, he has gone, and he can't play with a striker. This is Calcio. This is not a basketball, okay? Where you don't need a center no more. Where you could just jack up threes. But Pep Guardiola, he has a monster over there in Holland, and he doesn't even know how to use him. He didn't know how to use Zlatan. He basically gave away Samuel Eto'o. Come on, all these things, but. To me, Pep, you got a lot of questioning. Your resume is not looking good, buddy, because you only could play one way with false nines, and that's not how you play the game. You got to learn how to adapt.
Yeah, and I was rooting for Leipzig because I kept seeing Andres Silva out there, and I know he spoke a couple of nice words about that. He really does love, he loved his time as Milan, and he misses the people there. But let's get to the big game, all right? Like I said, no English team won this week. And there was one team, if you were watching CBS like I was, oh, man, to see Carragher, he was so happy. 2-0. Courtois giving up goals, making them look stupid. And, boy, did they go right down the toilet. And I'm sorry, Liverpool fans. If I see you give up any sort of lead, after 2005, I am happy for whoever beats you. I don't care. And it's even better that Carlos there on the other sideline, and you don't ever forget that Real Madrid is still Real Madrid. Vinny gets 2. Benzema gets the last 2 to kill the game and put these Liverpool and EPL fans to sleep for good. Anton, did you see how they beat him, how they took the soul right from Liverpool and took it right out of him.
You couldn't say any better. I'll tell you what. I felt so. I mean, it's like my body shaved 50 years off my shoulder. I became 20 years old. After all we went through with those mothers, don't make me say the last word. I'll tell you what. That freaking Klopp, I think, is such a stupid idiot, that guy. 2-0. You are up 2-0, and then you Benzema, and then Vinicius the Vicious punishes you with another two beautiful goal, and then the cherry on the cake, 5-2. It's a disgrace. The bartender says to me, Ando, I need to bet some money on the game. And I told him, I said, do not bet on Liverpool winning the game because they're not going to win. Oh, no, Liverpool, but they're playing home. I said, this club here, it's all messed up. Everybody already figured him out. So I said, you're dealing with Carletto. I'll tell you what, if a team is going to win the Champions League, I will put my money. I'll put my money on AC Milan because, this is, I'm biased when it comes down to AC Milan. But I think Carletto is one of he can still take it over. Regardless of the experience of the team, they're young, they're angry, and those people, they're not going anywhere. I'm telling you, those guys, they're going to be right there. Whether it's going to be the semi or the finals, Carletto is going to be over there to challenge for the trophy.
I love Ancelotti. Gio always says, I don't know if you watched the documentary ESPN made about the Last Dance, about the Chicago Bulls and Michael Jordan. He wants us to do one last dance with Ancelotti before he gives it up. Come back to Milan for one more year and let's make one more run. I don't know if that's ever going to happen. I thought maybe eventually at some point he'd take over, the Italia job, but, that doesn't seem to be happening. But I think for me, I know a lot of people will say other coaches, but for me, Ancelotti, I can't say his name. Ancelotti is the best coach that I've ever seen. And I find it very hard for anybody to say any different, honestly. That's just my opinion. I mean, how many Champions League does the guy have to win? Not only as a player, but as a coach. I mean, the guy's done everything you could want. And if it's not a revenge, because we got our revenge in 2007. Right. But seeing Liverpool choke on any sort of lead when they're happy and they think they're going good, and they're laughing at the other goalkeeper, and their goalkeeper does the exact same thing. I mean, that's what you get. That's what you get. I loved it.
I mean, there was a stretch about last year or a couple of years ago that everybody was saying, oh, Alisson is the best goalkeeper. Alisson, now I was fine. No, it's Donnarumma, the best goalkeeper, blah, 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 blah. Now I changed my mind about all of them. We have Maignan is the best goalkeeper of the world, number one. He's coming back, and he's coming back Sunday. Let me remind you guys, he's coming back against Atalanta, and Maignan is going to spell a lot of trouble for the teams on top of us, except for Napoli. I think we're gonna overtake Inter again. Not that this is not what I believe. This is what is going to happen. Okay, then let's go back again to the Liverpool one more time. It strikes me to see the quality of the game that those people are ready to put down. It's just speed, and no brain. You do not need all that speed without the brain. If you take somebody that is running and then the guy cannot stop, at some point the guy is going to hit the wall and is going to fall off the cliff or whatever, or he's not going to stop right in front of a cliff. Ancelotti is one of the best tacticians that has played the game as a player, and he has displayed at every level, whether it was on the Bayern, whether it was on Chelsea, whether it was on AC Milan, or whether it was any team that he coached, he always brought nothing but championship and the top of the achievement in terms of trophies and wins. So again, let me say this. Ancelotti is somebody that everybody's studying, even though nobody mentions his name a lot. But everybody's studying Ancelotti, especially during the Champions League. Ancelotti will not invent anything from scratch, like that stupid idiot of Guardiola when he played De Bruyne as a falso nueve. What the hell are you doing? And he kept losing. I mean, Guardiola has got the best team. He had the best team, and he still have the best team right now in terms of quality of player, but he cannot get the job done. Okay?
No,
he's the one. So
without Messi, he seems he can't get over that line when it comes to Champions League.
Yeah.
All right, so now, like you said, those are the Champions League games. Next week, we have more games. We'll get to it as well. And then the following week, we're finally back to Milan game. Hopefully, we finish the job against Tottenham. Let me just ask you one question. From what you saw the first game, what's your level of your expectations going into the second leg, Anton?
I am pretty confident that we might take the game over there because we played without Magnan, without Benacer, and without our best squad over there. And very impressively, I think Thiago, it was on the verge of by mistake even scoring the 2-0 for us with the header. Leao for me, he has been nothing but a big disappointment. A lot of people, si è montato in Italy, we say si è montato la testa. He needs to come down, step down from his pedestal, and he needs to play at the level that he was playing last year. So I get so angry watching his body language and his attitude, and I just hope that he learns from people like Benzema or like Giroud. Those are people that are really angry for the game. When you see his face, even after missing something, it's like nonchalant. It's like I don't know if you guys grew up watching the Pink Panther. I watched it. Come lui cammina, he walks like the Pink Panther. And I said to myself, yo, you're playing for AC Milan. You're wearing black and red stripes. De Ketelare is shitting himself because I think he feels that pressure. That's why he's not really exploding at the level that we are expecting him to do it. But I think at some point, once he explodes, he's gonna keep his anger right there at a very high level. This Leao, instead of, I think it's all the rumor of him moving, signing the contract, not signing, and all the stuff.
A lot of
they
talk
have created nothing but trouble for us. So I want Leao, if he's listening to this podcast, they said, hey, Leao, we love you. You know that we love you. But we expect you to pay, to make the team that they play against us pay the price. Okay, this is the reasons why we're keeping you, and this is the reasons why we want to sign you. But nevertheless, if your attitude is going to be that you're waiting for somebody to sign you for $20 more, by any means, you can go at any time. Okay, so Leao, we love you, but you need to keep your head on the game because we need you to pay dividend for us. Okay, so let's go back now to the game. The game, AC Milan played a spectacular game, now waiting for Tottenham to attack us. We took the game to them, and I think it's not a stretch if we would have walked away with a 2 or 3-0. Tottenham didn't take a shot on the.
We should have. We had 2 chances to score back-to-back headers that both guys just missed.
Yeah, it didn't happen, but I think we are on the verge to go. As I said, Tottenham was another one of those games that is telling me that AC Milan, they got it together again. So I think the mentality, the mental breakdown what we had, because physically I think AC Milan is not in bad shape. That we had just a mental breakdown, starting with the game of the Roma that they tied at the last couple seconds over there, and then it spelled into the loss, in the Coppa Italia with those bastards of Torino and Juric companies over there. But we're gonna get it together. I mean, it's not a big loss, but nevertheless, that we wanted to win, not us, just me. We all wanted to win everything at any cost. But I can see AC Milan with a little luck, guys. We can go to the quarter on the semis. Okay, just believe it. You gotta believe it. We have the squad. So let's go. Okay, I wanted to win.
You're damn right. I like Anton. Fuji Funny says you should be Leao's agent. I love it. You get him to sign for us, right?
You don't want me to be Leao's agent. I will chew him alive.
All right, so let's get into the game that we have this week. All right, I'll put it up here for a second. The first game we have is Atalanta this week, and then, of course, Fiorentina, Tottenham, and then we got Salernitana the fourth week. But our main focus is the Atalanta game. Atalanta is only sitting 3 points behind us here, and, we're coming off our 3-game winning streak right now. Atalanta, surprising loss to Lecce last week, 2-1. Didn't see that coming, and that keeps them at bay for us at the moment. Gio, let me ask you, because you're usually very good with the players. Who on Atalanta do we need to be worried about? What player are you identified? Probably who? Lookman or the other guy who I can't pronounce his name.
And now I'm looking at Lookman. Houlihan, he's a threat, but he's not been as a threat as Lookman. Lookman is scoring a lot of goals, so that's what it is for us. They lost Demiral, due to yellow card, but you know what? Our history with Atalanta is time for us to right now. We win this game, Fabio. We're 6 points away, and you never know. Roma has a tough game tomorrow versus Salzburg and Rome. Lazio, you don't know that they got games tomorrow, so they could end up dropping points. So this is a big weekend for us in our top four race, to solidify, because we need that top four. But Lookman, Houlihan, I think that with our back three, I know it's brand new, but Chow and Tomori, they can handle him. But Lookman, he's tricky. He's got pace. He could play on both wings, so we just have to look out for them.
Anton, anybody who you feel?
Yeah, let me tell you something. I fear more Muriel coming off the bench because Muriel is very technical. Muriel is a smart guy. Oyland and this Lookman, I think they're manageable. I mean, we managed to stop Harry Kane. So what's those? Those guys are not that caliber. I think Oyman is a little too young. You have to just stay on top of the kid. And this Lookman is okay. He's very smart. He's a smart player. But Muriel is the guy that scares me the most. Okay, Zapata, you know it. I think it's done. Something that has never. The guy I think is still not healthy. I think they're trying to use him because they're gonna sell him. They're gonna try to see if there is a team that is suitable to take him on. But Zapata is not what he was last year, just before the injury. So I gotta tell you something. I think we have a great chance to walk away with a very, very good results on Sunday. But Gasperini, that's the only one that I would be worrying about it. That guy, they're so lucky sometimes. Look what they do against Lecce, like you just said it right now, a few seconds ago. They end up losing a game against Lecce. I mean, they could have tied or win the game, but you don't play disciplined defense with those guys. They're going to punish you. So first of all, we have to solidify the midfield and the defense because we have the tools to just put Atalanta out of their misery. And I have a good feeling that we will. Okay? Yeah. So I am confident that we're going to walk away with 3 points. I think I fear more the small team than the big team because Atalanta is not going to wait for AC Milan and then they're going to counter. Atalanta, it comes to Milano to play, to take the game to us. So that could be an advantage for us because we're going to have more room. We're going to have room just to attack them with the wings. Let's hopefully Leao or Theo Hernandez or maybe, we can use the size of Thiago on corner kicks and all of the stuff. I like my chances. And I think we're going to take the game. Screw Gasperini. He's one of my favorite coach, but I want him to lose all the time when he plays against AC Milan.
Yeah, because he decided to dance, and that started, thank God that happened to us, even though it's one of the most embarrassing times that I can remember. But that was the turning point. That's where we got Zlatan literally like a week later. Here's a question from Vince Mancini. Is a draw acceptable this weekend? I would say no. We cannot drop any more points to begin with.
Nah, this is big. This is big for us, Fabio. We'll be 6 points away from Atalanta. So then now we just have to, but battling 3 clubs. Imagine we draw. We're going to still be battling Atalanta. We're still going to be battling Roma and Lazio. Like, no. Right now, we win this weekend. One of the teams is going away.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Well said. We don't need a draw is like losing.
Yes. When we tied to Roma, didn't everybody feel like that was a loss?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
We felt like Liverpool.
Yeah.
All right.
And you know what? Even losing against that jerk of Mourinho, that's what pisses me off even more.
Yeah. All right. So who would you guys want to see in your starting 11? Who would you hope to see? Would you go the same starting 11 that you had this past week, or any changes, Anton?
Well, of course, you're going to see Magnan over there. Yes, I would like to see if Calabria is healthy enough to start. And I like to see Tomori. And you know what? Theo Hernandez playing wings, it's not a bad idea.
No, he's been playing really
against
good.
Against Atalanta, you can afford to do that. In other words, when somebody of that caliber comes up, somebody else is going to have to back up. Okay, so if Theo Hernandez is playing up, somebody else is going to have to pick up the slack of him when he moves up with what's his name with Leao. So I wanted to see Leao, Giroud, and maybe on the right hand side. I am sold out, to be honest with you, on Junior Messias. A lot of people that see Salamakers, I think Junior Messias. It's got a lot of more talent and technical ability than the Salesmaker. Salesmaker has got the speed and sometimes. You know,
he plays better
a smart
defense.
player, but I think Junior Messias on a one-on-one, I think it's very smart the way he handles the ball and his tempo. Is to me, it's very an intelligent person.
So would you go player. Diaz again on the right side?
Absolutely. Diaz behind the striker, behind Giroud. Yes. And then of course you're gonna have Benacer, you're gonna have Tomori. I mean, you're gonna have Tonali over there, and I don't know. Those two, I'm not sure how healthy they are 100%. Probably Krunic is going to be waiting on the wing to come in for Benacer if it's not 100% healthy. So we are on the verge of being the squad that we saw last year. So don't lose hope because don't worry about if they Lazio or Roma. We have to just focus on our job. Forget about those teams. We're going to detach ourselves very quickly from those guys. Believe me, it's coming.
I hope so. Coming. And I got to tell you, I don't want to see Calabria start because Theo Hernandez with the captain's band, he seems to have more drive when he has that band on his arm. So for me, let's leave him there. Again, I've seen better lately with this formation with Salamakis and even Messias the last game than we've seen from Calabria. So if he's not healthy, let him get healthy. I know there was some talk that Florenzi is pretty close, but I don't know if he's going to be available. But people like Florenzi. I don't know.
Well, I'm not. You know what? It was impressing me when Florenzi impressed me. It made me change my opinion about him when he was healthy, when he was playing healthy again on AC Milan. But I like to see what if and when he comes back, what does he have? Like, if he has anything left. So
I hope.
He's an AC Milan player right now, so we have to try to be positive, and let's hope we get the Florenzi that is going to pay some dividend. Maybe he can score for us too because he's got the quality to score. But again, we have so many other players that they can play his role. So let's see what he has. Maybe we can use this as a chip on a trading chip for another young talent that we don't know.
I know there's one player that Gio was very excited to see. He got time last game. I don't know if he's hoping that he gets some time this game. But I don't know if you guys saw the model turned soccer player, Bakayoko, got like the last 5-10 minutes of the game. I didn't know this guy still played. But I don't know if you guys want to see him this game. I know there's a quota we don't want to reach. God forbid we have to pay any more money. This guy's like a cockroach you can't get rid of in the house. He keeps coming back. I thought we were selling him to Cremonese. No, he never left. I mean, I don't know. I couldn't believe we give time to this guy, but Varanks, we can't give him time. I just, to me, I don't understand. But yeah, any other final thoughts for this game against Atalanta this weekend?
I wanted to see I don't want to see a 4-2-3-1 formation. I want to see more of 4-3-3. I just wanted to see the 4-3-3 implemented. And if the game gets out of hand, then you go with the 3 defenders. But right now, AC Milan, I don't think it's going to get out of hand. For us, a tie. It's like it's going to be it's a big disappointment. So put your mind on a win. Put the W on your brain before you go to bed because we're going to win this game. So if a tie, noi diciamo in Italia la palla è rotonda. So the ball is round.
The ball is round. Anything can happen.
Yeah, if Manchester City can tie against the lipstick over there, whatever is the name of the team that they play.
I like that lipstick. That's what we're going to call it. Red Bull lipstick.
Yeah. So let's see what happened, guys. There you go.
Listen, look who came to visit this week. They had Shevchenko there. He was at the game last weekend. They brought him to the training ground. Ever since Theo dyed his hair this blonde color again, he seems to be playing well. He let go of the depressing moments that he had after the World Cup. But he was there. They were all taking pictures, smiling and happy. Hopefully this passes to the field. He shows up. The person he should be talking to is Charles. Go talk to Charles. Tell him how he's got to finish, and he'll be able to do it. So that's what I'm hoping. All right, so let's get to now what we call our brioskis and our indigestion. I'll start first because it makes me very happy to repeat it. EPL with 0 Champions League wins. That's right. The money pit that is the EPL with their Saudis and American owners and everybody under the sun throwing money. They got 0 Champions League wins this week and last week. That's a beautiful thing. It's always going to make me happy. All right. I'm sorry. When you got a team who spends $400 million in the winter mercato and they're in 10th place, we're battling with relegation teams for players. I mean, give me a fucking break. This is ridiculous. And there is no Super League, guys. They don't have to worry about it. It's already in existence because they don't get no penalties. What happened to Manchester City? I thought they were getting in trouble. That story disappeared like a fart in the wind. Unbelievable. But Milan, we got to miss Europa League. We got to get penalties. That only happens to us. Only to us. But these other stupid English teams, they get away with murder and nobody says anything. Them and PSG just spend. But you see, look, they're not the galactic team of the Real Madrid of the early 2000s. You can't just buy whoever the fuck you want. You have to have a team. You have to have a coach, an idea. And I'm sorry, spend all this money. You're going to have 2 new coaches. Eventually, Harry Potter is going to get fired over there at Chelsea. And they're going to have 2 new coaches in 1 year. Or 3 coaches, excuse me. So, you know what? I'm happy to see it. Liverpool, you were good for a little while, but now you're back to reality. You thought Virgil van Dijk was the next Maldini. They should have been testing you for crack because you must have been smoking it if you thought that's what was going on. I mean, these people, they were driving me crazy. So that's my Brioski. Anton, do you have any Brioski? Something that made you feel
I'll tell you my
good?
Brioski right now, okay? EPL stands for English Premier Losers, okay? So let me tell you something. Those guys, they see the competition only one way. Their way of competing is eliminating the competition from the equation. All they do, they're looking at the best player that Italy produces, and then they buy them out. Whether it's going to be PSG, I mean, PSG is not an EPL, but, whether it's going to be anyone that has got some talent, they take them away. So for them, competing at the highest level, it's take away the talent and the competition from the equation. So that's their only way that they think that they can win. But unfortunately, you see now, teams like Napoli, Real Madrid, except for Benzema, there is no much other big name over there. Those are all young, angry players that they bought into Ancelotti's project, and they are making a big statement, not in Spain, but in Europe. Because at the end of the day, Real Madrid, how many leagues did they win? Maybe 700? What are they going to do with 701? So Ancelotti's job is focused on the Champions League. So again, now look at another perfect example is these stupid idiots of PSG. Neymar, Messi, Donnarumma, you name it, nothing but world-class players. At the end of the day, what did they do? They lost a lousy game against Bayern. Bayern is not the team that we remember being 10 years, 15 years ago. Bayern is just okay. It's up there. They can make it a quarter. That's it. And then they die out, those people. So what I'm trying to say, it's watch for Napoli, watch for AC Milan, watch for the Real Madrid. Those are the teams. And you know what? Guardiola better wake up, because Guardiola, I am surprised he hasn't been sacked from the squad, because Guardiola hasn't won shit. What did he win? Couple English Premier League. It's not much. Oh, you won the FA Cup? Who gives a crap about the FA Cup? How many Champions League did you win since you left Barcelona? You said zero, nada, nothing. So what I'm saying is I think Guardiola is one of the most intelligent coach, but he got used to demand. And everybody, if Guardiola said jump to the manager or to the owner, then they say how high. Anything that he wants, they buy it for him. These guys are like a spoiled child. I want this. Here you go. So, but then at the end of the day, they cannot really put the results on the floor and walk away with some big wins and some trophies that they should be they should be just given to them even before the competition starts. Because, as I said before, their way of competing is to eliminate the competition from the equation. But even then, it's not working. So watch out, guys. Don't buy into all of those, rumors and the Gazzetta and the Corriere. Oh, look at this, they bought this, they bought that. It's all BS. At the end of the day, like you see Kvaratskhelia, you see Osimhen, you see Anguissa, you see Lobotka. Those are all players that were unknown until last few months. Now all of a sudden, those are the players that they're putting you over the top. So what I'm saying is, let's not focus on the big picture. For us, Donnarumma was a heartbreaker for me. We lost him with zero money on our pocket. We developed the players. The guy was a big AC Milan fan. He became one of the
We
best
paid the whole goddamn family. That's what gets me upset. Even the brother got a paycheck.
We lost Kessié. We lost bravissimo. We lost Kessié. We lost Donnarumma. And I don't want this to become a pattern for us, because what's happening, they taken away those players from us because we cannot afford to keep them. And I wish the world would stop this from happening. Or they should put some sort of luxury tax and say, hey, if you wanted to take this player away, even though it's the end of the contract, you have to buy, you have to give AC Milan, or maybe not AC Milan, give it the Serie A, $200 million for them to distribute to the youth organization or to develop soccer.
Why can't they do like a sign and trade like they do in all the other sports here in
That could be
America?
another idea.
Sign the contract and we'll send you wherever the hell you want, so they at least have to give us something back in return.
You got that right. But for the big fish, that they're gonna eat the small fish at any time, all the time. So
Anton, we are the big fish. The rest of the country needs to help us. It can't just be Juventus with their own stadium and everybody else. We got to jump through hoops to try to get a stadium of our own. I love the San Siro, but we need something else. The country needs, the league needs to help us all together. I mean, come on. I mean, that's just me. But Gio,
It's right. You're right. The Italian government, they're not fully they do not really understand what we have on our hands. And the Campionato Italiano was the best of the world for the last 30 years. Now, the last 10, 15 years, we have the EPL, the English Premier loser, taking over because of the money, not because their soccer is much better than us.
No, but like you said, they took that young player. Gio, where was the young left winger? He's on Leeds now. It starts with a G.
Oh, Jonto. He was in Zurich.
Oh, I thought he was playing. Wasn't he playing?
Yeah, he was. He was playing. No. He was playing in Zurich.
Oh, you mean Gnonto?
Gnonto, yeah.
Yeah, he's good.
I wanted Gnonto.
Yeah,
no, I wanted Gnonto, and they told me that I was crazy. But I mean, you know what? It's crazy. Can I get to my Brioski, Fabio?
Yeah, Gio.
So this is part of my Brioski, and it's gonna be an indigestion. I think in the next 10 years, a lot of Italian talent are gonna leave the Serie A. I just want to give a big shout out to my guy Vicario from Empoli. I think he's gonna be bought from Bayern in the summer, which is sad to lose him to another league, but it is what it is. I'm glad that he's getting his recognition. It's just like Gnonto. Nobody in the Serie A could have played $4 million. You telling me not a Napoli, not a Roma, not a Lazio, not a Milan, not a Inter, not a Juve couldn't play no $4 million. But that's my Brioski. And my other Brioski is, Carlo getting his respect. Everybody from the EPL said that he was finished, he was done. But, Carlo, man, how could you hate a guy who's nice? He's respectful everybody. You seen a video, like 2 months ago, a fan asked him for a piece of gum. He gave it to him. Like, come on, a genuine person. And all these EPL losers like Arsenal were shitting on him, said that he was done. Well, your club is done because you're not even recognized in Europe. You don't got no Champions Leagues.
Listen, before I saw Zlatan with the cigar this past May, I saw Don Carlo with that cigar, and he looked damn good, like a true pimp that he is, because he's pimping everybody out, baby. I love him. My indigestion, let me get this out. Now, Anton, we have a question about jerseys that we're going to get to from, I don't know if you know Facebook Frank from Toronto, but this guy has been harping me all day. I got to ask you a question. But before we get to it, have you guys seen the news of the fourth kit that came out today? Have you seen it?
No, I didn't.
Well, let me show you, because this is my indigestion. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. I don't know what's going on. Somebody said earlier today that, Anton, you ever play solitaire on the computer?
Yeah.
You remember when you finish the game and the cards all go crazy?
Right.
That's what this looks like on the bottom.
It looks like somebody spilled some sort of a tar on the top, and ucatrame, we call it in Italy.
This looks like a Matrix expired. No. I don't like it. I don't know why why they have to put out this garbage. Listen, I'm going to show you a picture of this thing. Did you see this one? Is this in your collection? Because this one... This is the one from last year.
Somebody spilled some white paint on top over there. Some Benjamin and Moore over there, or some ceiling paint.
Gio says it's for collectors only, because this is going to be worth millions of dollars in the future, because probably very few. I don't know. They say it sold well, but this is this year's. I like the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper one is like a off-white. That's that one looks a little better. But this one, I don't know. This is my indigestion. Why do this? Why?
A lot of times, what happened? The vintage, the original AC Milan jersey, those are the jerseys that should be bringing up, because we have the history. Many people, look, the same way we revive the Cinquecento, the Fiat, we bring back a beautiful a style, an icon, or the history that, on the manufacture of the cars, for example. Why can't we do the same thing with the jersey? Why do we have to try to be different, or to invent something that it looks is different? But even you don't have to be, as long as it looks beautiful. But what they bring us a difference is like ugliness, just because but it's different from all the rest of the shirt that we had before. No, doesn't have to be. It can be just you put the new sponsor on. Soon we're gonna have 2 stars over there instead of 1.
I like that. That's exactly my idea. Put something from the 94 year or the 96, but with our logos now, but similar, almost exactly the same style as something from the past. Watch that sell way more than this stupid jersey.
Big time. Especially for the young generation. Young generation, they don't know what the jersey of AC Milan they used to be. We reached our we have a certain age. I mean, especially me. But those young guys, those young kids, they don't know how beautiful those shirts were. I'm telling you. No. So I had one when I was 19 or 20. But, I had to actually fight my mother, and God only knows. Back then, we played with no shin guards, with nothing. So right now, we're putting on, just for the sake of marketing, we're putting stuff that is not necessarily very nice to look at it. So I'm not sold on this new jersey, to be honest with you.
Anton, the real question is, Gio, have you already pre-ordered it? Because Gio, I know you buying it. Don't lie to me, and don't lie to the fans.
I haven't yet. I mean,
see, the keyword is yet. Look, he's stuttering because he knows he's gonna buy it.
No, I mean, you know what? I think Jonathan made a great point. We need to leave Puma, because you know what? Puma has brought out like vintage jerseys. I think they did it for Lazio when they were a sponsor for them. They brought back the I guess the year that they won the Scudetto. I think that they did, and then Manchester City, they brought out a vintage jersey like when they used to play. So, but for Milan, you know what? This is like, because this is high fashion brand and stuff like that. So I understand it, but like, why can't they just give us a retro? Like, why can't, like, I've been saying it for a long time, Anton. I want to go back to Lotto. But Nike owns Lotto, and we can't go back because Nike has a great relationship with the snakes across the street.
Right. Oh, I see. I hear you. But listen, Adidas had some spectacular jersey for us.
I liked Adidas a lot.
Yeah. So I'm not sure. Hey, listen, Puma, they have the talent, they have the quality. So it's just I'm not sold. I mean, all of that darkness on the top of there is sort of dirty. It just looks that it's not a similar quality. That does not command a lot of respect. It looks like one of those painters that woke up in the morning and he didn't have coffee, or maybe spilled coffee on his own shirt. So that's what it looks like.
This looks like how my computer, when it gives me the blue screen of death, it looks like this on it. That's what it looks like. All right, so Anton, let's ask you this question from Facebook Frank. If you don't know Facebook Frank, trust me, he knows you. All right, so he wanted me to ask this. All right, let me get rid of this stupid jersey. Get it out of here. This is going to be your indigestion because you're going to have to answer. All right, so he says, why do you always wear these fake Italian Mercato printed jerseys? That's his question. He thinks you're going to spend hundreds of dollars on everybody's brand new jerseys instead of buying them cheaply like we all have at the, maybe the St. Anthony's Festival or St. Gennaro. You go into an Italian shop, you buy a jersey, it looks nice, whatever. Yes, it's not real. Who cares? Also, he wants to know, how come you didn't come to the Rock Nation event in October at the 40/40 Club, since it was the Milan Club doing it?
We had. Let me go with the last question, okay? We had another big event. There were too many things, too many moving parts, and I was almost coming over there. And for some reasons, that I was forced to stay in Brooklyn, and they kept me in Brooklyn. That was my answer to the last question. But I would love to come over there. Number one. Number two, it's not how much you buy the jersey for, and whoever design or whatever. It's what you have on your heart. You can buy the most expensive shirts or the most vintage jersey. You can just have everything. But if you do not love the team, any jerseys are not going to do, any expensive jerseys are not going to do justice to you as a person and as a tifoso. And when you are an AC Milan fan, you have to wear the jersey, or you have to wear the black and red on your sleeves. You have to be bleeding black and red. Forget about it, whether you bought it for €10 or for 5 cents, or whether you find it on the street. For me, I will pick up an AC Milan shirt that is all dirty and with somebody that has pissed on. I will take that jersey, because if it's an AC Milan jersey, I'll bring it home, I'll wash it, and I will wear it right there on the spot. You do not disrespect black and red. It's not about the money. It's about what you have over here. A real fan doesn't look at the cost of the jersey. I have expensive jerseys too, and signed too, but it makes me happy to be at the lowest level of the merchandising, to show that it's not about the money. It's about what you have on your heart for your team.
That's right. That's true. You better love the team if you wear that ugly ass fourth jersey from last year.
Antonio, can they still buy this shirt or no? I know this is yours. I know this is.
But it's an AC Milan jersey. I'll take it. If you want to get rid of it, I'll come over.
No, this is yours. This is yours, Antonio. You made this. We are not dead yet.
I remember that. Actually, that's the kids at the studio that they made that.
Yeah, I know.
All right. So this is the last part here. We get to the last part of our show. Parting shots. Of course, Gio, you start. We're going to let our guest go last here. So, Gio, what's your parting shot?
My parting shot is shout out to Antonio. I've been following him for a long time, and thank you for coming on, showing us love. Me and Fabio barely starting off on this podcasting, so thank you for coming on. And just shout out to everybody that's showing love. Shout out to Facebook Frank, the fact checker of all fact checkers, Mike, everybody, Liban Yusuf, Nico, my guys from my Milan Club SoCal, Jonathan, Milton, Anthony. So Mike, Haitian Mike, everybody that's in the chat, always supporting us. Just wanted to say thank you.
Anton, what's your parting shot before I go?
My parting shot is this, guys. I know Marcello. I met Marcello in person and things like that. I want to meet all of you guys. I want to meet every AC Milan fan of the world, because for me, I feel at home. I feel in peace. I feel like, hey, this is my family. Okay, we might have differences. We might have so many different things going on, but when the game is on, and when we are focused on the same goal, I mean, there is nothing that can stop us. I mean, I'm gonna come to Montreal. I told Marcello, I said, when I'm a big Formula One fan for the Ferrari, I said I want to come for the Ferrari, but more than anything else, I want to meet my AC Milan, my Montreal friends over there, and I want to spend time with them because that will make my experience to come into Montreal very fulfilling. Because it's not about you want to hang around with the people of your kind, okay? And for me, any AC Milan fan, those are the kind of people that I want to be hanging around with. So shout out to Gio, to Marcello, to you, and to everybody into the podcast. I said you guys are great. So I will do it at any time. You just guys let me know when you want to be on. I'll schedule my life around. So you don't have to just beg me for anything. So I'm happy to be with you guys.
Well, we appreciate it. We appreciate it. Listen, you're not the first IFTV guy I roped recently. Let me just put this up. I did see Marco not that long ago, just a few weeks in Boston. I was even joking that I hope in case he doesn't feel good, I could fill in right on the panel there. You might not know any difference. It's just two New York guys, but Marco's great. Anton, we really appreciate you coming on. We have over 40 people watching us live all over the world right now. Again, it's the Milan community. So many great people putting English content. That's the thing that, not necessarily just Milan, but all of Serie A doesn't necessarily realize how much of a market, an English-speaking market's out there. So, unfortunately, we got to take it into our own hands and put the content out there for the English-speaking community. But, Anton, we really appreciate you spending time here with us. We appreciate everybody who's out there who took time. But, of course, before we leave, we got to let's get to exactly what we want you to do, all right? Do us a favor. If you've stuck with us the whole time and you're not subscribed already, please subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and do us a solid and like the video. And if you're listening to us on Spotify, it will be up on Thursday. As always, Milan Coast to Coast on Spotify or Apple, iTunes, wherever you get your podcasts. We always have things on Monday and Wednesday. Of course, there's a new Milanismo Worldwide with the Milan Club Detroit on there. So check it out. Vinny did a great job. Anton, thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome, guys. And don't forget, we will never die.
And we will never die. All right. Ovunque e sempre.
Forza Milan.
Ciao, everybody.
All right.